Welcome to the Strong Casuals podcast. I'm Ben. This is Anthony, and next to me is the Cord King, Eric. We are going to talk about the 2024 Giants Live USA Strongman Championships and World Deadlift challenge that happened at the same time.
Yes.
This happened, well, to us last Saturday. I thought it was a good event. It was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It was stateside. I don't think it wasn't the first, but
No.
most Giants Live stuff takes place, overseas. So this was nice to have it here. I think there's a lot of people in the strength and I guess just sort of strength world showed up to the show just because they're right down the road. Martin Sleazy's was there. He wasn't competing, but he was there.
Right.
He helped with a bunch of the implements and stuff. And there's like CT Fletcher and some other guys that showed up. Big in the historical weightlifting and just, I don't know, strength, muscle realm.
Yeah, I think they just do the Giants Live USA Strongman Champ. That's the only Giants Live event that we get.
Yeah.
But it is cool that
actually,
I came here.
Yeah. And it meant that it was on at a time that made sense for us.
Right, exactly. And but it comes with the whole package of Giants Live. So it's just like a super smooth event. Everything's on rollers. That's how everything should be in life.
Yeah. No, it's always I am the epitome of a broken record, but they know how to put on a show. They do it a long time.
Yes.
And then it's sort of the same crew, same dudes, but it was nice to see them all together. Neil Pickup was there using phrases that I don't think I've ever heard said before.
No. Just making up just making up places for words to be where you're like,
he once said one of the lifters was it was an immoral treatment of the weight.
The lift was so good.
It was so
that
good
it was
that it was
immoral.
Yeah, it was unethical how he treated that lift.
That's such an excessive description.
It is. I think it's worth it.
It is good.
That's why we bring Neil. Well,
it is good.
That's why Neil should be there. So yeah, it was a good event. They started with a max deadlift. So the men started at 400 kilos. And then Lucy Underdown came out. We've talked about her before.
So simultaneously, the women's was it just
Lucy?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was there. She's been gunning at breaking the women's record for a long time. And so they basically gave her the opportunity here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In a comp. So it counts half floor. And then, so they had her, they had everybody run through 400 kilos. And then they had, I think it was 400. And then they had her come out, and then she did her lift first at 100 kilos. Nope. 200 kilos. Well, she came out and first did her lift, and then not first, after the first round. And then they went through another round of the dudes, gave her some time because she doesn't have any downtime, if she was just like, ready, set, do the thing. Right. And then she came back and she got the women's world record. So it looked easy, to be honest.
What was it?
It was but I think I'll look it up. But I wish that there was more. I wish they had more women there.
Yeah.
And it would have been. I think it would have made the event a lot. I don't know. Not a lot more. It would have added to the event if we could have had. It would have definitely would have increased or made it a lot longer. Mm-hmm. But 318. She pulled 318.
Holy Toledo.
So that's 700 pounds.
702 pounds.
And so and it did not look difficult. I'm going to be honest. It didn't look difficult. And I think she's definitely got more. Mm-hmm. She's definitely got more. It went up easy. They interviewed her afterwards. They asked if she was going to go up because they gave her the opportunity to go. Sorry, 325, 715. So 325 kilos is now the women's record. I think she'll beat it. They asked her if she wanted to go for above that, and she was just like, no, which was a good move.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, she was like, listen, I have other things to do. And also, I think she has the foresight to be like, there are a lot of other women who are gunning for some spots, you know,
Yeah.
and so we don't want to get. She doesn't want to like. She wants to bring everybody with her.
Yeah. Don't want to just get way too far away in the weeds, and then there's just no competition for anything anymore.
It's a little Levon situation.
Yeah.
So then, well, so they used max deadlift as the first event.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we got to see Iron BB compete the entire time.
Yeah, Iron BB was here. Everybody else was a regular competitor, but Iron BB was finally here for a full competition.
And then it was an interesting. I mean, it was interesting to see everybody pull. So the guys that actually ended up pulling or attempting 505, which would be the record. Mitchell Hooper attempted. He got it off the ground. He didn't get it to, like, he couldn't have hitched it. I don't think he would have wanted to anyway. Matt Ragg gave her a go. Rauno Henla gave her a go. And then Graham Hicks. So Graham Hicks did. Honestly, I thought Graham Hicks was going to get 505. And I think that had that lift gone differently, like in the moment, I mean, technically, like had his like lift gone differently, he could have got it.
So you saying that all the people you just named off, so like Graham Hicks's max was 425. From 425, he just jumped up to 505?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, no. Well, I don't know if I don't know if he did 470, but But
everybody else who got 470, Heinla, Hooper, Trey Mitchell, they all went for the 505 and just didn't.
Most of them, yeah. And it just didn't. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Such a significant. I mean, 35 kilos.
Well, and
35.
I mean, dude, it's like it's so much fucking.
Yeah, that's so what I'm. It's weight. Already so much weight. You just hit the 470.
It's ungodly. And honestly, 470 looked good for Hooper and Mitchell.
Yeah.
Trey came to mess stuff up today.
Yeah. No, it's good.
On Saturday. And I think Trey Mitchell is going to be, we're going to see him on podiums more just because he came to party, man. And he did.
Dude, if he stays healthy and just keeps doing what he's doing, especially after this event.
That's true. He's
going to be a problem.
He is, in the words of Connor Oberst, a corn-fed man.
Yeah. I would.
He is large and in charge.
He really is.
But it was fun to watch. I mean, it definitely shows, I think, that 505 is within the realm of possibilities. Luke Stoltman got 400, and then that was it.
Yeah. Now, this is all their first, though it's the deadlift championships, this is the first event.
Right. They just use that as the first event. So then... And I mean, it was a fun event to watch. It was more fun to watch Lucy Underdown break the record.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the attempts, obviously, and the actual world record breaking is awesome.
I think Austin Andrade was fun to watch, too. He's a strong dude. I think he has
454. That's insane.
Trey Mitchell at 470. That's the American record. So he has the American record.
Okay.
Which is cool.
That is cool.
But, yeah.
I'm
just really surprised Graham Hicks. So Graham Hicks has been like training with all the big deadlifters. He spent like a month or something with Half Thor, and
I was gonna say because I don't see Graham Hicks a lot in competition.
Well, I think he just basically decided deadlift was his thing.
Yeah,
and he's been training for this forever. And
so this was like his first time out to do so.
Yeah, and it was just like crushing to watch him. He like got it, and then I don't know if it was the whip in the bar or whatever, but it pulled him forward, and he was done.
Oh, only one attempt.
Yeah. So I mean, he was, and like they had to. I mean, when these guys are in suits, they can't breathe.
Right.
Like they are restricted in so many ways. So if it doesn't happen when it's going to happen, it's not going to.
Yeah.
That was a funny sentence. Trey Mitchell did 470 without a suit.
He's just.
I'm going to say that again. Trey Mitchell did 470 without a suit.
Maybe he was in like a.
He's a
corn-fed boy.
Yeah, he is a corn-fed.
Maybe he was in a corn husk suit.
He was a corn-fed boy. That's unbelievable to me. But all these other guys are in.
Some people just don't care about suits.
Well, I mean,
that's
insane. I mean, it's cool, but it's insane.
Or maybe you physically just couldn't get a big boy like Trey Mitchell in that suit.
Oh, dude.
You'd have to.
They make suits
get
big enough.
Multiple food savers. And then pull all the air out, and so you can get him in there.
Yeah, no, there's some big dudes that get into those fucking suits. But I think deadlift is a classic. I know it's sort of like a bit of a crossover from powerlifting, but it's fun to watch. And it's fun to watch a straight deadlift. You know?
Right.
Like elephant bar is cool. It's got its own, things. Axle bar is cool because it's got its own little thing, but just a straight deadlift is nice to see.
It's
sometimes.
Strongman. Maybe we could put 2 refrigerators on the end of a bar.
Yeah.
Make it more exciting.
Right. And
2...
Frigidaire could sponsor it.
That's what I'm saying.
Sub-Zero. The Sub-Zero deadlift.
Yes.
If you do that Sub-Zero, we get a cut.
Maybe we could throw up cages of women.
Yep. Those are, dude, the people ones are difficult because they shift their weight.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Next up was the car walk.
Love a good car walk.
Yeah.
The car yoke, right? That's technically what it is. Right?
Yeah,
or it's a frame carry.
No, it's a yoke.
It's a yoke, right? Yeah.
So you put it on your back. It's, I don't know. It's a classic. They still use Volkswagen Beetles.
Goddamn right.
Mitchell Hooper just trucked. He just the second that whistle blew. I almost thought when I was watching it, that he jumped the whistle.
Yeah.
Because he was just so fast off the line.
I know. His he really is track and field sprinting-esque with his time, trying to he's working on, the offensive line, at a football field. He's trying to jump it, but not trying. And for some reason, I've never seen anybody jump the line in a strongman event. And I don't know if they'd call it, but there's getting close.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, he's 3 seconds faster than second place.
Yeah, I mean that happened a couple times where the person and Eddie Williams, who came in second.
Yeah.
He almost looked like he jumped it too. He didn't.
Right.
But that played a huge role in their ability to get that done that fast.
Yeah, because I mean that's a significant margin.
Luke did good. Tom did well. Luke seemed to struggle with this. Luke struggled with everything almost in this event, except for dumbbell press.
No. It says that Tom was the one who struggled. Luke did well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Tom.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tom was struggling through all of this.
Tom's injured. He withdrew the last 3 events.
Yeah. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah, no, Luke finished.
They're brothers.
They are brothers.
But yeah.
I mean, top 5 place. That's actually a great in general, overall for Luke, the Highland Oak. That's great.
Yeah. Well, he's the reigning Europe's strongest man.
He is. We're in USA, bro.
It's freedom.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. It was fun. I mean, it's a classic thing. I
love the Oak.
I thought they were gonna get a giant crowbar to get Iron BB into the thing. Because I mean, he is as wide as a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah.
And I say that, and I'm sure people who don't know what he looks like are gonna be like, no way. No,
yeah,
Google it, dude.
Yeah.
He is he is as wide as a Volkswagen Beetle.
Drop him from the ceiling like WWE Sting.
Right.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's impressive that they got him in, to be honest.
They seem
Especially since those
small.
Volkswagens are small. They seem smaller than normal Volkswagens.
Yeah, I mean they are, but they could have made the yoke feel a little bit wider. It's a benefit to them to have it skinnier. You get
who says it's not a benefit to BB? Maybe it could have just fit like a heavy blazer.
I think it too. It's the Iron Blazer. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He did okay. BB did all right. I mean, he moved it.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty much what you need to do.
I don't look at Iron BB and go, "Oh, that's speed." I don't look at him.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I'm looking for this guy to lift the arena underneath.
Yeah, Evan Trex Singleton. I know it's T-Rex. Okay, I just like saying Trex.
I hate it so much, but it's fine.
Evan got 2 events this time before he withdrew. I'm sorry, that's insensitive.
That is insensitive, but I hope he's okay.
I mean,
what happened? What the hell's going on?
So I think sometimes he started in professional wrestling.
Right, of course.
Dabbled
Adam Scher.
Dabbled in muscle. I can't think of bodybuilding.
Holy potatoes.
Yeah, I know. Deep fry. So dabbled in
powerlifting.
No. Well, he did a little powerlifting, but he tried his hand in bodybuilding for a while.
Oh, bodybuilding, okay.
And then after bodybuilding, he went to Strongman.
Okay.
His I don't know, his personality, his aura is definitely still professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he puts on the gimmick character.
Yeah, and he's got his
yeah,
and he
it works.
He smells his smelling salts and then throws them at somebody in the crowd. that seems to be working for about 2 events, and then something else.
God knows what happened.
But yeah, I think the car walk should always stick around. I know it's essentially a yoke carry, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah,
Mitchell Hooper won that. Was speedy, very speedy. Evan
it's
Williams,
insane. I want. What is the world record for that?
I have no idea.
But probably 2 seconds.
Evan Williams did very well. That's a good event for him.
Yeah.
And it was the rest of the pack was okay, but
yeah.
Dumbbell press. It was a pretty cool dumbbell press. They used like the dumbbells that have like the cages around the weights. They're like the old circle weight dumbbells, but or like sort of sphere weight, but they had the cages on them.
Kieliszkowski has the.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, 10 flat at the 2019 Giants Live.
It doesn't surprise me.
So I mean, Mitch is not far off.
No.
But I mean, yeah, Kieliszkowski, that makes sense.
Eastern Europe, man.
Yeah.
It was a cool dumbbell press. It was a lighter dumbbell press than it has before, so it was for reps. So I think it was 200 pounds. But it was for reps. So it was definitely more of a game of the amount you can plug into that minute you have.
Yeah.
Than it was do 1 or 2 big lifts. Seemed a bit out of place in this lineup, personally, just because it's like static strength, yoke, wrecking ball hold, static strength, Atlas stone. So, I mean, I guess it kind of balances out the static strength stuff, but it's weird. In my mind, it was kind of weird to do a dumbbell press for reps.
Yeah.
Like maybe make it a medley or something. And include the dumbbell press or do like a multi-weight dumbbell press medley. Like when we did, make it a ladder, maybe.
They were 100 kilos, these dumbbells.
Yeah. So at what, 220 pounds.
Yeah.
So I mean, or they could have made it a medley where they started smaller and got bigger or something. But it was just 4 reps. And honestly, the game changer for that was just keeping a hold of the dumbbell when you dropped it. A lot of these guys they'd get a nice lift and then they'd just drop it.
I know.
Obviously, because it's very heavy.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that Hooper got his 7, which he was tied for with Trey Mitchell, was because every time he dropped, like he put the weight down, he kept a hand on it. He let it drop.
Oh, he never let go.
But he never let go of it, and so he could control where it landed.
That makes I mean, it's just little things like that.
That's definitely a Mitch move.
Yeah, 100%.
And a good one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the move. So then, so him and Trey Mitchell tie. And then Luke, once again, Luke Stolman got 6 reps. That's great. He's second place.
He was doing well. So I think, the 4, 5, 6 range was big. Mm-hmm. I should say 5. And then Trey and Mitchell. That's weird. Trey Mitchell. I
know,
Mitchell.
dude. Every time I'm thinking about I know it's messing
pulled
me up.
ahead with the 7.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
I like dumbbells.
Wrecking ball hold. So this was holds like this have been around for a long time. The wrecking ball hold has been sort of a Giants Live thing lately.
I know they always seem to have it, and I love the wrecking ball hold.
So I think it was in England's Strongest Man. It was in a bunch of the other ones. That's where we saw Patty Haynes just like show us what he's made of.
Separates the men from the men.
Right.
It really does.
Super cool. Alexei Novikov now has the world record for the wrecking ball hold.
He just did. I mean, he just went up and did it.
2 minutes, 7 seconds.
I mean,
that's insane, man.
That's so insane. I mean, nobody was close, and you're like,
no.
Very good.
And he did not look like he was.
He apologized for not saying, not
he's
bringing.
Like, I'm in terrible shape. And it's like, well, you're not in terrible shape. You just did 2 minutes.
I'm an amorphous blob. If this is what we are considering terrible shape.
Yeah. So if you're in terrible shape, I think I'm dead. Like I think I'm actually dead.
It's an actual problem.
My body is imploding.
35 seconds above second place.
Yeah. I mean, he was a machine.
That's just. Well, I mean, it is.
A lot of people hate this event, though.
It's just about how long can the fascia of your hands stay alive.
Oh, it's just pain.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitchell Hooper hates it. He's made that clear.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys hate this.
Yeah.
Because it is essentially just pain.
Novikov doesn't complain about it.
I know. He doesn't.
He doesn't
got
say
the world
a thing
record.
about it.
He's like, shut up.
Yeah, dude.
Why are you complaining? But yeah, I mean, it's pain. And his argument, I think, is it's not even grip strength. It's just pain. Because
Pain
if you see
tolerance.
most of the guys, they'll bend their knees a little bit.
Yeah.
And so their hands are their hands are holding the bar, but their fingers are pinned between their quads and the bar and the handle. So it's just like clamping your fingers against your quads, and that's what's going to fail.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, should we just stick it out, or what are we going to do? Novikov decided to stick it out, and it cost him the last event. Like, I mean, legitimately, he did not do Atlas stones because he just like, I don't know if his hands work anymore.
Probably not.
So I think, Mitchell Hooper feels about wrecking ball hold the same way Evan Singleton feels about tosses. I think it's whatever. It's fun to watch. It's a big spectacle. It's definitely more of the strongman.
I'm in for all
vibe.
like the gimmicky stuff like this, because this is like it's spectacle. It's like OG strongman stuff where you're like, this is not, it's not gonna extend the longevity of anybody's life necessarily, but no. It looks good on TV. It looks incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like something people who know nothing about.
If you're scrolling
strongman,
through the channels,
and you
see some guy doing some craziness like this, you're like, we'll keep it on for a little bit.
Sweet, yeah.
We'll check it out.
This is one where I do think they should do something other than a giant silver ball.
Should be a giant disco ball or LEDs.
Yep, it should. And then there should be like roller disco dancers.
Yes.
Going around figure eighting through the towers at the same time.
It should be a POV of their like home like city, and they're like holding their city on
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yes, dude.
Like project their
family dangling above sharks.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
This is the type of stuff.
Yeah, I think
The
we should
people
do that.
want it.
They do.
I like
Save your family.
it. The chrome ball is only going to last so long.
I have that tattooed on my back.
Yes, dude.
And then last was the wrecking ball, or sorry, the Atlas stones.
Can't get it off my mind.
The wrecking Atlas stones.
Yes.
This was exciting.
Yeah.
Everybody else, not everybody else. That sounds really terrible. Everybody went through, the people who were left at least. So Matt Reg,
I know.
Luke,
I can't believe 4 people withdrew from Atlas Stones.
Yeah. Andrade, Eddie Williams, and then Trey Mitchell and Mitchell Hooper. And it was great because Trey Mitchell and Mitchell Hooper went up against each other. And I thought that was super fun.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
It's been a long time since Mitch has had to like just compete for that top spot.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do it fast necessarily, but he had to do it fast enough.
Right.
Which, and he didn't need that.
He didn't get to just put it, like you said, he didn't just get to put a stone up and walk away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still gave it. I mean, the crew had significantly reduced itself by then. So by that point in time, Novikov, BB, Evan, and Tom had all withdrew. So they didn't even compete in that thing. But he still had to do it, and he did do it, and it was fine. So Mitchell Hooper won again.
Yep.
And
he does it again.
I guess this is what we're getting at here. But honestly, I think that instead of just focusing on not complaining, but instead of focusing on we can just accept that Mitchell Hooper is really good.
Hey, bro, you have no other choice really than to kind of just accept it at this point.
And in this case, we can talk about. There's a lot of. I mean, the general conversation I think should be more about guys like Trey Mitchell, who has a fantastic future.
People
in
are
this
getting
sport.
closer.
And like he came. I mean, we've seen him do really good stuff.
He was within 6
he came to
points.
play today, man. I mean, and
he was within 6 points at the end of the whole competition, and that's crazy. That's way closer than anybody's getting to Mitchell Hooper on a regular basis at all. Nobody's touching him. So this
and a lot
is
of these
good
guys,
news.
And a lot of these guys are in their early 30s.
Right.
So I mean, there's I mean, Mitchell Hooper's 29. Man.
Oh boy.
But I mean, a lot of these guys are of similar age, so I think there's sort of a passing of, not a passing of the torch, but we're seeing another generation.
Mitchell Hooper's a young boy, and he's just
destroying stuff.
He's in the body of a man. He's trapped.
I mean, this is
like
this
big
is the Hooper
too.
era.
This is like big 2 with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah,
Dude, this is literally it.
actually, at the Next Giants live event, they just have a giant keyboard on the ground.
Dude, if
And
he
we're
does
going
the
to
whole,
go
what
to-
is that little ditty called? I don't know what it's called. Come on, you musicals.
You musicals.
Come on, you musicals, peoples.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but Mitchell Hooper he's here, and that's all I got. But he ain't
I feel
going
like
nowhere.
it's the start to some like high school football cheer. We're here. We're
You can't say the thing.
Yeah, I know.
So you're like, we're here.
We're here.
We are also here. Get used to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, dude.
But I think
We're here. We're Canadian. Get used to it.
Yep. Syrup. I liked Eddie Williams. I always like Eddie Williams. I feel like I sound like Donald Trump every time I say, I love Eddie Williams. I've always loved Eddie Williams. But
No chance he loves Eddie Williams.
No, that's true.
No chance.
No chance.
No chance. But once again, but he eked his way out this time. Mitchell Hooper takes first place, 47. Trey Mitchell, 43 points. I mean, come on, he's right there. So,
and I think this would have looked a lot different had those four dudes not withdrawn.
Yeah,
because
Tom Sultan literally was in 2 out of 5 events.
Well, if Tom would have been healthy for the Atlas Stones, that could have been a very different situation.
That's instant 10 for Tom theoretically, and yeah, it's just interesting. I'm really interested to see what
that would have been a 3. That would have been in third maybe for Mitch. So I mean, that could have played.
It definitely could have changed things. I don't, I don't know. Tom doing 400 and just stepping out. You already knew something was going on.
Yeah, he did the car
deadlift.
walk, but that's what screwed him up.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't think he didn't even once he got done with it, he was just done. He had a weird start to it, and then I think things got weird for him. And I mean, these guys, we have to also understand that these guys are lifting weights that it's not like, oh, I tweaked my back a little. It's like,
the regular human body would actually shut down if you were doing these things to your body.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of these guys, so you do something wrong, and that could be the end of your career.
It's detrimental to your actual body.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a problem. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Evan and Tom, we hope everything's okay. We hope things get better because you guys are important to the sport. So we hope things bounce back. But I don't know what is the next event for Strongman here.
What do we? I can't think of the name of it. It's not the Open. It's the. Or is it the Open? I don't know. Well,
is it the Open? Everything's called the Open.
Well, everything's got a different name, and it's just
sick of it.
it's relatively confusing.
I am.
Well, this
Saturday is Wisconsin's
Strongest
Man.
most importantly, this Saturday is Wisconsin's Strongest Man. I'm going to be running a skid steer all day, so I'm not going to do that. But the World Tour Finals on October 19th. So the World Tour Finals, also a Giants Live event.
We have a few weeks until that. So there's
things are going to start to slow down until we hit the spring season. So there's not a whole lot going on.
No.
After that, then we'll pick up way back up in spring.
Yeah. It's. I mean, winter shows up, and what are you gonna do?
But at the beginning of December, we have the official Strongman Games Championship in Madison, Wisconsin.
This is true. But you know what you can do in the winter? Arm wrestle.
You can turn your hat backwards and just hawk them.
You could just
Hawks.
Cup your family and toss them out the window if you wanted.
That's what Hawks did basically, and then tried to rekindle.
No, he did that as he
relationship.
tossed his son out at the start of their life, and then he picked him back up.
Yeah, which is what matters.
Yeah,
he came back.
Dude, it's about
his truck.
It's about multiple ways of doing things. Okay, it's about pronation and then the other one.
Supination.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He supinated his child out of his life when he was born. Then he pronated and brought him back into his life.
Yep, this
is a metaphor.
We should write. Why were we not around to write the?
Dude, this is what I'm talking about. This is real. This is real metaphors for life. And
in the event that anybody watched the Golden Arm,
we apologize.
the Golden Arm thing,
it ripped. It fucking ripped.
I think that might have been the worst movie I've ever seen.
It wasn't a good movie. We made it a good movie, but
I mean, it was like
we haven't released the Golden Arm thing
that's
yet.
right.
But yeah,
That's right.
yeah, dude.
It wasn't that great.
We did a. Now this
rules.
is bad marketing because I'm gonna be like,
You gotta. It's a movie watch along. You gotta just. It's about us. It ain't about the movie.
It'll be coming down the pipeline eventually.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
dude.
no worries. It's like so if you're listening, that's confusing. But we did do a watch along for Golden Arm. It will be coming out. I completely retract what I just said. I think it's probably I don't know, top 5. I mean, it's like
you can say it's a movie.
it's a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Coppola's best. It's not Francis Ford Coppola's
Francis,
best.
what are you doing, man? I think that's a Spielberg flick, isn't it? That's,
Michael Bay.
Goldeneye.
Who knows? Could have been any of those guys.
dude, Michael Bay. Yeah,
It could have been with those
who's the guy with
pyrotechnics.
the slow motion doves? Maybe it was that guy.
Could have been
Mission Impossible 2.
Could have been Paul Thomas Anderson. It could have been many people, dude.
M. Night Shyamalan.
I think that was the Marigold.
Are they really arm wrestling? And in the end, you find out they're all earthworms.
I think that was the Royal Tenenbaums too.
Yeah, this is a real Wes Anderson flick for sure. This is
No. For for arm wrestling flicks, probably top 5. And I only think there's maybe
even
4.
top 2.
Yeah.
Maybe even top 2.
Don't know how many there are. Not a lot. But you know
Yeah.
what? And so we do apologize that we gave no preamble, but everybody who knew King of the Table 12 was last Saturday. We didn't even bring it up because we were watching the Golden Globe nominated Golden Arm. Okay, so we had other things going on.
It's false advertising.
Okay, so but there was actually
Golden
a
Globes
great
have really gone downhill lately.
there was a couple really good matches at King of the Table 12.
Yeah.
There
are a couple
and I'm going to
not
talk
so
about
great.
those, and then I will talk about the couple of not so great. And I'm not talking not so great in the sense that like I'm just in the sense that the matchup wasn't right for the caliber of the puller. The good matches. There was an incredible right arm match with Artem Morozov and Kamil Jablonski. Now
Those are good guys.
these guys pull, okay? But it's right arm. Now I think that Kamil is technically better on his left. I think just because the right-handed field in his weight class is so stacked at I don't even know what I think they're just at heavyweight technically. I think it's 115 plus. I can't really tell. I think they're heavyweights technically. But Morozov dominated 5-1 Kamil. And
Camille's a hang of a puller, though.
that's what I'm saying. Camille's a heck of a puller. So like when Morozov does him 5-1, it's a problem. These videos will all come out on YouTube, I'm sure, soon. So I'm excited to rewatch the match. But that's a match. That's a proper match right there.
It was just a best of 6 match. It wasn't.
Is that what it was?
I think they're probably both outside of there.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it was just a catch.
282. So it would have been 130, 128. So it would have been like a 130 kg.
Okay. Yeah. So arguably you're
135.
right under heavyweights, basically. But yeah, Morozov and Jablonski, that's a hell of a match. Morozov really showed who the hell he is, because that's insane. 5-1 is just
But
insane.
he was supposed to pull Kardeccia.
That's right. Alex Kardeccia pulled out, and then Camille replaced him
He
last
pulled
minute.
out.
Nice. Pronated out of the match.
He army crawled, but he just pronated
Yes,
himself.
dude.
Yeah.
A couple of other good matches. Sergey Kalinachenko pulled Georgi Svidskov.
Yeah.
Now, Kalinachenko would be in the same weight class as somebody like Morozov, in like a 130, closer to 115, probably 130. 115 would be light. But Georgi is a heavyweight. He's very obviously a heavyweight.
Yeah. Gorgie had 100. He has 100 pounds on Kalinachenko.
Yeah, dude. So the fact that Kalinachenko even took the match is insane.
I'm relatively convinced that Georgi.
Georgi.
I'm relatively Oh god. I'm relatively confident he would spit the same kind of game that Devin does, but nobody knows what he's saying.
Oh, right. I know. So he doesn't even bother.
So he definitely likes to poke and prod. And
Yeah.
he likes to do the same thing
Yeah.
that Devin does, but then he does do it. And Sergey has got his own like persona too.
I mean, we saw him when he faced Bajent. Before that match, he was putting on his, he had his whole character,
those little teeny circle
tiny
sunglasses. Those are assassin
that
sunglasses.
just cover the irises.
Yeah.
That's the only kind of sunglasses you ever.
Those are
need.
the sunglasses that assassins wear.
It is.
And he might be. I don't know.
Nobody knows
I wonder if
otherwise.
he hangs out with Novikov.
Dude, I hope so.
They're from the same country,
They
so I'm
should.
sure they know each other.
They've got to. They're in the same, zeitgeist. So I would assume that it's got to be similar. But all of this, Georgi has 100 pounds on him, and Georgi smashed Sergey.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not
Sergey
surprised.
put up a match, but it was 4-0 Georgi, because once again, it should be on weight alone, and Georgi is top echelon heavyweight right now. So
He's up there.
yeah.
He got his butt handed to him by Devin, but that was fat Devin.
Right.
Sorry, big Devin.
And then Camille had 2 matches. So he had the right arm with Morozov, but then he also had a left arm match. I told you I think Camille's better on the left with our boy Corey West, who's no slouch.
No.
And Camille
He's a
beat
big
him
dude too.
4-1
Yeah. Hey, at least it wasn't 4-0.
It wasn't 4-0.
Holy, Corey West weighs 430 pounds.
Yes.
I mean, I knew he was a big boy, but
He's got like 150 pounds on Camille, I feel.
430 pounds, dude. That's
When I saw him
Trey
at the
Mitchell
table, I
kinda
was
weight.
like, "Oh wow, this is a Trey Mitchell on the table." And so Camille really showed his grit. I mean,
he's 60 plus pounds heavier than Trey Mitchell.
than Trey Mitchell.
What is going on?
That is insanity. Corey West, he's a stationary unit. He doesn't have to move around.
This is true.
He
Wait,
just-
so if Trey Mitchell is corn fed, what is Corey West is like GMO corn fed?
Corn syrup fed.
Yep, I'll take it.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
corn syrup fed.
It's got to be that.
It's got a straight IV of corn syrup.
Incredible that Camille beat him 4-1. I think Camille is. Besides somebody like Levon, I don't know if I'm serious. I would love to see like him face Vitali. I don't know if anybody in the world can beat Camille on left. After a match like that,
Yeah, he's good.
He's beaten Devin. He's beaten Camille. Devin alone said that he has the scariest
You saying Kurdecha or Camille?
Camille.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Camille, I think, is
Yeah.
the best left arm in the world right now. I really do. But I don't know what
Hey.
Levon's doing, but
What about Travis Bajan?
Kalinachenko
I know, I'm just kidding. I just love my man.
we love. Hey, once Bajan is, if he's just full time in it right now, then I can't wait to see more of his matches.
Yeah,
I cannot wait. It's
It'll
going to
be
be. But yeah, Camille is a real problem at left arm, and that was his second match of the night, so it's super impressive. Now
the really important matches.
So these were all the
ones
really good matches.
The ones that the people really pay for the pay-per-view to see.
So and I apologize. Hirostov and Sinica at the start of the event. I apologize. I don't know who you are, but it was a 5-1 smashing by this Casper Sinica. He showed up, but the Larrett men were in the building. Okay. And I apologize. Chikadze beat our boy RVJ, Rob Vigent Jr. 4-0. I don't know Chikadze, but he's Georgian. Enough said.
Yeah. Nowadays, you just say that, and they're like,
He's in the Georgian camp. Enough said. You know who's going to win that match. So yeah, Auden Larrett, the son of Devin Larrett, random match out of nowhere. Is all of a sudden they just got announced that he's going to pull the Korean Hulk Ja Young Ha, who is a guy that I randomly found in my algorithm like 6 years ago. I just knew him as the Korean Hulk, and he was just like a rich guy who like flashed like. He was just a giant, supersized, like rich businessman. Is what he put off, and then he just worked out a lot. So I was like, okay. Then I've seen him on some.
we've got those.
Yeah, dude. He was just like he literally just made us look like an influencer. And now he's like, his arms. You could be like, yeah, sure, this guy can arm wrestle. Why the hell not? Why wouldn't he be able to arm wrestle? His arm is literally.
Well, maybe because he's never trained arm wrestling before.
I think he has though a teeny bit. But is he Devin Larrett's son? No. He's not. And he's also like 7 inches shorter. He has like 150 pounds in Auden, but he's like 7 inches shorter than Auden.
But why? But why
I
are
don't
we
know.
not?
I don't know what we're doing.
Why
They just pulled this guy out of Korea randomly and just like
against his will?
yeah,
Just-
dude. I know he lives in South
Come
Korea,
with
so
me.
it's like I know he doesn't live here. Just pulled him out.
So he
At
doesn't.
which
He
they
doesn't
were-
live in best Korea then.
No,
Okay.
no. He lives in least Korea,
Least Korea.
and so
The lesser. Korea.
yeah, dude. And weirdly, strangely, Auden Larrett wins 4-0.
Who knew that? Who knew?
I don't know. Maybe
Turns
'cause-
out if you keep throwing people who don't know how to arm wrestle at somebody that knows how to arm wrestle, the person that knows how to arm wrestle wins.
weird. You also give a guy, I mean, yeah, Auden, whose lever is 8 inches longer than even the closest thing that the Korean Hulk has to offer.
Well, and like give him a match.
Right. If you want to bring in Ja Young Ha, please give the guy a match.
Well,
That's
or,
not-
and give Auden a match.
Or yeah, I mean,
Like,
well, Auden's
give-
had matches. That's the other thing.
give-
It's like you've already given Auden regular matches. Why are we just doing this randomly?
Not enough. They need.
Well,
to,
no,
they
that's what I'm
need to-
saying.
they need to-
Regardless,
yeah,
this
I
is
know.
not. This is just. It's an askew from what it seems like we're trying to do with this kid.
And I feel like if we just keep throwing not like essentially non-competitors at competitors, like no one. Why do we want to watch that? And I mean,
The Korean Hulk, dude. We got the Korean bipartisan vote.
well, I mean, I guess saying it out loud, like maybe there's a chance that like this was a play by Engen to be like, well, we need to bring in this like group that follows the Korean Hulk.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll like we're
Right.
gonna bring in the viewership
That's what
based
I'm-
on this guy.
Well, that's why you bring in a guy like Leonardo Socona. That's why you bring in a guy like this.
But
all
throw
of the
him at
guys.
somebody else.
I know it's a weird thing for Auden to get the match. Once again, it's one of those things where it's like it's a name, not necessarily a name that arm wrestling knows, but it's a name in some aspect of the internet. So they're like, here, this is a thing that we can try to pull eyes to arm wrestling, and then you just crush their leader, Ja Young Ha. You're just like,
Yeah.
so all of his fans are like,
Oh, he lost.
yeah, well, that was fun, I guess.
Just to a kid.
Yeah, to a child, basically. But Auden, I mean, yeah, he's an incredible puller. Just give him competition that's of
Make it a
any
match.
caliber.
Make it a match.
Yeah. So
Speaking of matches, look, Devin Larrett and Leonidas Arcona.
Devin
My
Larrett.
God, what a matchup! Who knew where that was going to go? I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I don't know.
I'm sassy.
that is. But now, and also, this is a left arm match. Okay, so it's not a right arm match. But why do we have it?
I mean,
I don't know what the last matches that Leonidas has been pulling. I don't know if it's all been left. But
it's
I don't-
supposed been right, I think. But
I think it's
so
all been
who
right.
What? Why,
what's it for? What are we
why
doing?
did last time we threw John Berzink at him?
Let's give Leonidas Arcona all of our hopes and dreams, and let's just let him
Yeah.
pull them. And then our hopes and dreams are like, yeah, but this guy's.
He's 25. Dear Lord.
I'm just like, there's like old boomers like talking about him at this point. It's fucking insanity.
I just don't. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why even a left arm Devin Larrett Leonidas Arcona match exists. Why? In what world
I
is
think
that fun
because
to watch?
obviously, if it's not obvious at this point, they're pushing Leonidas.
Well, sure, but like, I don't want to watch that. No one wants to watch that.
Engen does.
Who cares?
I don't know what we're doing, but it's obvious that King of the Table,
He
East
is
versus West, they're
making
making
me-
a push to push this Leonidas Arcona. Now, is he
He's
a
making
good...
me rage.
It's a weird thing. I like him as a puller. That's fine, but don't put him in the main events. Nobody wants to see 4-0s. Nobody wants to see that.
That's all we get these days.
I know. When we do, it's fucking annoying. It's not. It has no show value whatsoever. You're just gonna give him a guy who's just gonna talk his fucking ear off? I didn't. Yeah, I apologize. I didn't watch the match because I saw highlights, but Devin is talking German to him during the match.
It's classic.
It's psychotic.
I mean, why do that to Leonidas? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna end up going on a rant.
That's the other
but
thing. You're right. If you're trying to push Leonidas, what the fuck does this do for Leonidas?
Nothing.
He's getting smashed by Devin. He's getting
Smashed by Berzink.
Smashed by Berzink. It's just weird.
Duh.
It's who didn't see that coming? This guy showed up on the scene a year ago, basically.
Let's take some of the most seasoned vets
Right.
and throw them at these guys. And I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's just for viewership or trying to grow the sport. But it's like it's turning into, and there's all this like I'm not going to get into it, but there's all this drama with like Engen and Devin and like trying to like push other people's buttons and do all this other stuff, and
Kinda
it's like
force people into the sport.
No, just like
Being
weird about stuff.
Oh, just literally being weird.
And it's like I don't want this. Does not need to turn into like a real life professional wrestling. Like we don't.
No,
we don't need
you
that.
don't. You can't put drama. You can't give us drama if there's no characters yet. I mean, that's just a straight up fact about anything.
Yeah.
If you're watching a reality show, if you're watching TV, if you're watching character development in a film, I mean, you can't give us a protagonist and an antagonist. You can't just force like the situation when they're not in the scene, and it's weird. You can break. I mean, you know, there are some MMA fighters who use that thing where it's like, creating fake drama for the thing, but it's just not.
I mean, that's
when you almost see some of the behind the scenes of it happening at the same time. It's just weird, and it just comes off as like insincere, like obvious bullshit.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I can definitely see like professional arm wrestling is a pretty ripe environment for drama. Like that's kind of part of the shindig.
It should be.
But not when it's like weird.
Yeah. Once again, you can't force any situation and make it normal. Make it seem normal when we basically see everything.
It's like first dates.
Yeah. Well, in arm wrestling is like you get to see the show of arm wrestling. It's like there's a physical curtain on the stage, but the metaphysical curtain is not there. You see all the things that happen for the most part. You don't see the money making and stuff behind the scenes, but that's where
tens of dollars.
Well, that's the money making and stuff, and like that's like the Monopoly stranglehold and the scariness that there is in the sport is because of that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's because we don't know who necessarily. I mean, there's like we know a little bit what's going on, and you get to see what you see, and the CEO and the big guy who's running these organizations. You get to see. I mean, he just like he speaks his mind.
Yeah.
To the fans, to the world, to everybody. I mean, he's the enigma of rage. So it's like
canalization rats.
Yeah, dude. You can. I mean, he shows rage being the enigma of rage.
Yes.
I mean, it's like he's not hiding anything. So it's just like you'll give us an event that is just like top to bottom, just like the best things, the best matchups you've ever seen. Everything's fine, and then the next match, Engen's not there. Fucking, there's BJJ on the stage. There's gummy bears all over the fucking place. Then the following match, we got, Devin Larratt speaking in German to a man that who's
been arm wrestling for like less than 3 years.
Worlds and worlds ahead of him.
Yeah.
In arm wrestling. It's just weird. It's just weird. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, oh boy, is it fucking bad.
Yep.
And we're just like, you just have to watch it. And you're like,
I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, we don't have to belabor this too much longer, but like, I mean, I don't understand how Wall could put out so many amazing events with like neck and neck matches, and then this.
I know.
It was like.
Well, and this is the part where it's weird because it's like, in theory, we've never had a better generation of arm wrestling because all of those athletes that were specific to other organizations are all open to the world. Everybody can wrestle everybody, and that's fucking rad. We never had any Eastern Europeans come over to Wall or WAF, so when you can have that opportunity, it's like, yes, but now it's in like a frickin', and it's slowly still getting better. Of course, we have the org. We have orgs of a kind, but it's like it's still backyard wrestling in a sense.
Right.
Where it's like, the rules are kind of there, but they're loosely enforced. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, there's no...
Sometimes very loosely.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I think it's the same. I feel like it's the same. Well, there was a guy that made a comment on our video and the Reddit post, and he was talking about how, like, he put some of the not blame, that sounds weird, but he put some of the weight, the onus of Hooper, like, winning everything on the fact... or on Giants Live for choosing athletes, and who they're inviting to shows based on events. And I think he had a pretty okay point. Like in an arm wrestling, the arm wrestling equivalent is coming up with a card that makes sense.
The matchup, yeah.
And so I think there's it's not like these organizations have had years and years and years and years and years to determine the very best possible matchups, the best possible 13 guys to put into a strongman competition based on the events that are there. And the same's true with arm wrestling. There's a lot of new guys and a lot of people where it's like, I don't know, let's try this matchup. Maybe.
It is. I mean, it's very similar to MMA. Like, matchmaking is a job. Like, it's a real thing, and it's not freaking easy.
No, and we know when it goes wrong.
And when it goes bad, it goes really fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't want that to happen, but it's when you have stuff in its infancy, and especially with stuff like this, when organizations are brand new, every organization has a matchmaker, so it's all brand new stuff. And if sometimes the people who are pulling the strings are the ones making the matchups, it's totally fine because some of those people have a deeper, encyclopedia of knowledge of all of these pullers from around the world, so that he can put together matchups that are absolutely top notch, the best caliber matchups you could have in the world. And then you get absolute fucking nonsense sometimes when and that's the other thing. It's like, God knows why. I just don't know why.
I don't know.
Some of these matchups are like this.
In some cases, I feel like it's a bit of a stunt. I don't mean to like reduce it to that, but like in some cases, it's kind of like an Eddie Hall Half-Thor boxing match,
right?
Or it's like it's like, well, let's just do this because it's going to get publicity,
right?
And like, so what if it's dumb?
I know.
And like,
I know.
And the thing that ticks me off about those stunts are like those of us who are relatively engaged with and like we care about the sport are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this? Or like, Brian Shaw MMA fights or something like that.
Right. Well, no. Yeah. And from the sounds of it, it's actually the opposite. Brian Shaw seems like he's taking arm wrestling super seriously.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Hall is full-time preparing for MMA fights.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, if I love both of those concepts, it's fine because Eddie can still do his wild stuff whenever he wants. And if you're hiring Eddie Hall to put on a fight, you're going to show up with the truck, like,
yes,
you're going to give him whatever the man wants because that's why you got Eddie Hall. You don't get Eddie Hall for any other reason than that's Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
And if this Pujanowski Eddie Hall match actually happens.
Oh my God.
I mean, dude, we're in it. Okay. We're on the Eddie Hall MMA bandwagon if he's actually going to fight Pujanowski. I mean, that's insanity. And Brian Shaw in arm wrestling is, everything the arm wrestling and strongman community secretly wants. It's our secret guilty pleasure.
We want it.
We want it hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's got some good traction. I think that's a good crossover that makes sense. We're not pushing it. It's something that people are invested in and it makes sense.
I highly recommend you watch Brian's last YouTube video he put out. Is just another gym tour. Yeah. But he has all these crazy arm wrestling implements that he got now. Like, just like, we're like, what even? Because he took all the lessons that Devin gave him with like all of Devin's like rudimentary farmhouse-esque stuff that he does. His
living room gym.
And then Brian's like, no, I'm not about that farmhouse stuff. I need technology actually. Yeah. And he has like this, he has like this one little piece of equipment. It's just like literally looks like a piece of tech, like strapped to like one of his big racks, and then it just has like a tension ball, and it can go from like 0 to like 325 pounds tension, like in like 1 pound increments. Wow. And you can just attach anything to it, and it's just a loose tether that pulls out any direction, basically.
He should put that in his truck.
Yeah.
And he should just hawks.
Yes. That's exactly what you need in the truck.
Yeah.
That is a 2024 fix to that.
And he's got the truck to do it.
He does. But arm wrestling, it was a strange event. He has another match coming up. That's the other thing. Devin Larratt is pulling at the next King of the Table.
Yeah.
Against Oleg Petrenko, who is not Leonardo Sarcona.
No, that'll be a good match.
Who is an absolute animal champion.
Yeah, that'll be something. That'll be a nice break from all this
That is
BS.
going to be, I feel, besides Levon, that's going to be Devin's toughest match of the year by far.
Oh, especially after he's dropped so much weight.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be his first true weight test too. So It's interesting. Arm wrestling's in an interesting place. We'll see what happens. Strongman, we're reaching the end of the season, but
we still got an event, and then some Wisconsin stuff and some OSG stuff, and then there's a big break until spring. But lots to do before that.
yeah, you'll see what content we put out, and when there's dry stuff. We're gonna
interviews,
get
man.
real freaky.
We're gonna maybe do some more watch-alongs for
something
high caliber movies like
high caliber.
Golden Arm. All right, you got anything else?
Nah, man. Thanks again, Ben.
Anything for the good of the people?
We're here.
All right. Well,
The strong casuals.
what we always say is